supernatural after that point, but really that first one was just a great thriller.
Great
with an
movie, great
interesting
twist,
ending, you
great
know?
special effects artist.
Yeah.
Uh,
But that's one of the first
I
time
do
I
like there's
watched
a
that.
Leslie in the background. That is really funny.
I think I was 8 when I watched that the first time. So then, yes, that did scare me for a few years. But besides that, growing up horror movie wise, Child's Play was probably the last thing that actually affected me. I don't
It
like
was just a
anything that.
weird.
You
Yeah.
know, I remember like Pet Cemetery came out around the same time, and when you get to see the old man there get his Achilles
Yeah.
tendon cut by Gage,
Yep.
right? That always creeped
Big
me out.
fan of
You
Achilles
felt,
tendon.
you felt that, didn't
Yeah,
you, when
right.
you said it?
So literally, like as you're watching the Child's Play, and they're walking down the stairs, and he just pulls out, and there's no backing on the stairs. I had stairs like that at my house growing up.
Yeah.
So like literally, as I'd go down to my bedroom, I would run down the stairs really fast to make sure that I wouldn't be grabbed by something under the stairs for like 2 years.
The first season of American Horror Story, the basement thing downstairs just reminded me so much of my own in the place I was living at the time that was actually a little bit freaky. Because good show though.
That's a great show.
People Under the Stairs got me for a while too when I was younger.
That was creepy as hell. Yeah, that one is pretty.
I was always scared there was someone
Scott,
living
don't be afraid to get on
somewhere.
that microphone.
Oh, I'm
too.
sorry.
It was
Can you
just
hear me at all?
Aiden, you know,
No,
right?
you
It was
just
just
quiet,
Aiden
quiet.
under
Okay.
the stairs.
No, well, it didn't matter where I was. I was always just convinced there was someone in the walls or something. Even if I spent that in a friend's house, just that underlying
The
fear of
waxy
whatever it is you
skin
don't know.
really creeped me out in there, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Have we had any supernatural or ghost experiences ourselves?
yeah.
Let's go. We're gearing up for Halloween.
All right. Well, we're on camp stories, right?
Yeah.
So I ran at our low adventure camp. I worked in Scoutcraft. Right?
You
So-
walked briskly. and
We're
led the
yeah.
You're
low
at the
adventure
Scoutcraft. We
camp.
learned to
It
roll
was-
our own cigarettes.
right? So I literally made rope for like half my summer, right? That's literally what we did. Take twine, put it together, make rope. But we taught orienteering and just basically how to light a fire, things like that. But I helped out econ a few different times during the summer, specifically with wilderness survival. One of the merit badges you can get. And, so you have to go into the woods. Kids have to go and like make their own spots or whatever. And use whatever you have that's available through there. They give, like for the night, you literally get like a snack and maybe like a tarp. And that's all you're supposed to bring with you. And here's the night, And we let the kids, because they were at camp, right? So you want them to be comfortable. We let the kids bring, sleeping bags and whatever else they want, radios and stuff. I would actually.
We're gonna give you cigarettes, but they're gonna be unfiltered.
Right.
So.
Most nights, actually, I dropped the kids off in the woods because it was only like, half a mile to my cabin. And I'd be like, all right, guys, I'll see you in just a few minutes. Have to use the bathroom. And then, like, I would just go spend the night not in the woods because that sucked. And then
Hitting on babes back
right?
at the.
So last year it's the third or fourth week of the summer, and it pretty long summer, but about halfway through, I take out a group of kids, and it's always me and my other friend Scott that worked in econ, or John or somebody that's going to be there as the other adult, in the room, as we're all under 18, but we bring out the kids, and we're having a great time, and everything goes really well. And the night just feels eerie and kind of like weird, And this is a Thursday evening. We kick out the kids, right? So we wake up. It's the next day. It's Friday morning, and we're all excited or whatever. And we go to walk back to camp, and somehow we walk in the exact opposite direction. Even though I've worked at this camp now twice, I know exactly where I am, and the spot where we camped and everything is only like half a mile from the road. But like we leave to go back to camp and we hit the road. So we're like, I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. I'm not sure what happened exactly, guys, but let's turn around and head back to camp. So we head back towards the direction of camp and everything. And we get about 4 miles from what I'm, because I'm paying attention to my pedometer here. And we should have already hit camp by now. And we hit the road again. Like we literally did like a Yui.
That's a common thing, though, when you're lost in the woods, is to walk in a circle. Like they say that's a
Right.
common like search and rescue thing. If somebody gets off of the path and gets lost, typically they're not that far away because I don't know if it's just your where your brain is wired or whatever, but like you tend to walk in a circle, so that it could be something.
Right. But so either way, we hit the road a second time. Now we've spent most of the day walking, and the kids woke up late, and we went the wrong direction in the first place. So all of a sudden, we're back at the road again, and it's 5 p.m. And it's going to take me another hour and a half to get the kids back to camp anyways. So we camp out again. So the kids are supposed to be back with their leaders. Nobody comes to find us. But we end up camping out for the night again because I don't have any place else to put them. And thank goodness and everything, I was, a chubby kid, so I had lots of snacks. So I feed the kids again, no big deal. We come through and everything. So we spend the night another time. We wake up the next morning, right? And we're like, oh, no big deal. Let's walk back to camp. All these kids have been literally like, mostly crying through the night because they're upset they haven't been able to see me adults.
Yeah.
So we
You're
walk back
hungry,
into
you're
camp.
dehydrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just, pissed and stuff. Just they don't
Father
understand
Dennis
what's
keeps
happening.
popping up all over the
Yeah,
place.
Father Dennis is
Yeah.
walking around in the woods.
Yeah, John, who's with me and everything, has been crying, and he's 17, like
Yeah.
because he can't figure out what's happening either. And I'm just assuming this is one of those like
So
weird
it's-
phenomenons that happens in the world, right?
So it's two adults.
Yeah.
Adults. So it's
Yeah.
not like you're just confused in your direction. It's like this guy knows what he's doing too. But
Right,
you
and,
can't.
he's been working at the camp and everything for 12 years since he was like a little kid, and his dad ran the camp. So like he knows his way around this place like nobody's business. So we head back to camp, and we get all the way back to camp, and I don't know, anything I can really say is that it was like we hadn't been missing a day. We get back to camp, we walk into the dining hall. Breakfast is just been ended, so we missed breakfast, and the kids are all like, "Oh, we're so hungry," whatever. The cook comes out and he's just like, "That's okay, guys. I'll just make you up some breakfast. No big deal." Their scoutmaster is sitting off to the side, and he just like casually just like, "Hey, how you guys doing? Was it a nice night?" And I immediately am just like, we've been gone for 48 hours. What are you talking about? He's like, you guys left 12 hours ago. What are you talking? I'm like, I don't understand. He's like, it's Friday morning. I'm like, no, it's Saturday morning. He's like, no, it's Friday morning, Scott. What's going on? And literally like a group of us, 15 people, lost a day.
And you were all in agreement that you lost a day? Like all the scouts said that, you and John?
Yeah.
If John was here right now, he would still say, yeah, we lost a day?
Yeah. I thought John was losing his mind.
Now,
Like,
did
and
you see any signs that said Dharma Initiative at all, or?
Right. And like I'm huge nerd, so I'm into sci-fi and all these things, and I'm like, we like hit like a time paradox, or what happened exactly? And of course, that lots of that was the Blair Witch year. There's all these, like so. In a few weeks after that, when I watched Blair Witch, of course, and like that occurs to me and everything like that, that I walked into something and I couldn't get out of the woods by myself. So I'm even more freaked out at that point. But yeah, I still don't have any explanation whatsoever. I have no idea what happened. I would like to say that I dreamt it, but yeah, like we're talking about. So like I've met some of those kids since then, and they still talk about the same story.
The day that they lost.
Yeah, like that's just a whole day that we lost and wandered, and yeah.
The day the rest of the world lost.
This was a much.
Yeah.
This is a great story. This is wow.
Yeah.
This is much better than where I thought it was going to go.
Yeah,
That's-
so I mean,
that's-
nothing happened to anybody. We were all okay. But I mean, besides we were just hungry and yeah. I mean, it's one of those things I still can't explain it. All these years later, and
A wish I never knew I had was that I wish that this effect happened to Michael Kelly this summer during camp.
Just losing a day.
Just you're trapped an extra day with a kid. With the
Trapped
kids.
an extra day with the kids. Yeah, that could be fun.
Yeah. At first, I thought you were just going to say, "Oh, and we wandered around." Like again, in my mind, with the stuff that I know about like getting lost in the woods, again,
Sure.
it's a common thing, and I'm thinking
yeah.
they're starting to panic. You're just making the wrong choices,
Right.
and now you're just going to
You know
be
what
stuck
you
in
did?
this loop.
I got it. You Supermaned it.
Yeah.
When you guys did the circle loop, it
Yeah, the
hit
Earth-
off a
the
time.
Earth
spun
and
backwards.
you just reversed
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, still, I mean,
You saved Lois. Good
Right.
job.
I mean, literally, like I'm teaching orienteering, right? So like, so these kids, this whole group of kids, I've just taught how to use a compass properly, and we've mapped out the entire camp. I knew the camp really well. Like I was one of the trail leaders.
Yeah.
So
Like
the
the back
idea
of
that
your
I
hand.
got lost at all is just nutty. But like the fact that we did it, and it wasn't even like an area that was like Like that part of the woods had been replanted after they had went through and wiped out part of it 30 years
super dense.
beforehand. So it's literally all straight up and down pines for as far as the eye could see. So I mean, like it's a little confusing if you don't
Sure.
know where you are, but if you know where you are in camp and you've worked there, this part of camp is at the front. We need to go to the back, and it's that easy. If I had gone from that position, if I had gone south, I hit the road heading into camp. If I go, to where we ended up twice, heading west, heading west, that's where the main Route 3 comes
And
through here.
it's,
So.
are you coming out at the exact same spot type thing, or are you just coming out somewhere along that road?
Both times I was far enough down the road that I could not see the camp's entrance, the actual road of the camp entrance. I could see the sign in the distance. But both times, I'm right around the same area even. Like, I almost think that where we came out was not even on Camp Portaferry land anymore, because part of that's owned by the state, and across the street is a state park.
The state, the government's getting involved in this now.
Yep.
But yeah, either way, something I still have never been able to. When I tell the story, people all say the same thing, like, "What do you?" So we're like they're expecting a punchline or something, and I'm like, "No, it was just scary and sucked."
And then all the leaders left.
Yeah,
well.
People thought I was nuts for 2 or 3 days.
Have you ever tried to Google or see if this phenomenon has happened to other people in that?
Phenomenon.
As far as I know, it's never not at that camp. But I've
That'd
heard
be
of
worth-
this exact thing
that'd be
happening all over the U.S.
Yeah.
Where people just lose time. If it was such like a large group of kids, like
And I think that's the thing too. That if it was a singular experience, I'd go, Scott, you were just worked up,
Right,
you had anxiety,
right.
and like.
we had 2 people with us on purpose because you can only have 6 kids per counselor.
Yeah.
So I had 9 kids with us. Had to have 2 people along the way.
And the
And,
kids
you know-
and the kids agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So
I would actually love to talk to them like years later now and kind of wonder
Well, they're here.
how they feel, right?
Bring in the
Bring 'em in.
right?
Father Dennis, bring in the kid.
Right?
Father Dennis
Yeah.
has been in the back with the kids.
Yeah, I remember the one kid